Running for a good cause, it's something that has become a habit for David Barnard, a South African athlete who is preparing for a new challenge. On Monday, he will start the Ultra Grand Race in the United States of 273 kilometers. His objective is to raise funds for the fight against Africa's neglected tropical diseases. 1.6 billion people have been affected. Well, hello, Mr. Barnard. Why have you chosen this cause?
So the reason for focusing on neglected tropical diseases with this race is very simple. One, every race of this nature that I do every year, I usually work with a specific organization and a specific cause of interest to them. So I've worked with Greenpeace on climate change. I've worked with the Sunflower Fund on leukemia. I've worked with Bono's One Campaign on health and agricultural issues. So this year, in doing the Grand to Grand, in picking an issue, I met the CEO of the N Fund last year at a meeting in Kigali. She explained to me the work of the fund and, the issues around neglected tropical diseases, something that I wasn't aware of. I think so much attention is being paid to other diseases and health issues affecting people around the world, be it HIV/AIDS, and in the case of Africa, malaria, TB, etc. Issues that do get the attention that they deserve, but then if you better understand the challenges around NTBs, more than 1.5 billion people around the world, of which many of them are in Africa, still affected by NTDs. I think it's a cause and it's a set of issues that require a lot more attention, a lot more support, and therefore it was very simple for me to make that connection between my next desert race, which was going to be the Grand to Grand Ultra, and support the N Fund and the work that they do in support of eradicating and eliminating NTDs in Africa.
Now, David, what do you think should be done to better tackle the issue of NTDs in Africa?
Yeah, I think obviously NTDs and the specific focus on neglected, meaning in my opinion, it's both a set of diseases that are neglected in terms of attention, but more importantly, it speaks to the vulnerable and impoverished people in society, people that are neglected by implication because they don't have access to running water, hygiene, health support, government services, etc. So in any case, these are the people, these are the issues that should be prioritized in national health programs, in national health policies, in the type of focus and attention being paid by international aid and development agencies, etc. So it is about increasing public awareness, both in terms of institutions that have the ability to make a difference, but I think it speaks to people in general. Ordinary citizens should have a much better understanding about NTDs and why it is something that directly and indirectly also affect them.
Mr. Barnard, you're going to run 273 kilometers in very difficult conditions. Have you had intensive training?
So I've been doing these races since 2010. I've run races in the Sahara Desert, Gobi Desert, Atacama Desert. I've even done a race, as I said earlier, for Greenpeace in running in Antarctica. So all of these races are self-sufficient. It means other than being given water at certain points during the race, whatever you need for the duration of 5 or 6 days, you carry in your backpack. So in that sense, it is extreme cover distances of more than a marathon a day for 6 or 7, 5 or 6 consecutive days. So that makes it extreme. There are no luxuries. There are very few comforts in events of this nature. It's a serious physical challenge, but it's also very mental. I think you really, once you're in circumstances and you have to do physical activity in these type of circumstances, it's really about a mental challenge as well. You really want to need to get to the finishing line. So that's what makes them extreme, that makes them very challenging. And in my case, since I've done my first one in 2010, I've also always attached it to a social cause or a non-profit organization doing good work somewhere in Africa. And that also gives me the motivation, both in terms of the training required for the races, and more importantly, to actually get me through the races and get to the finishing line.
Well, that was a look at running for a cause. I think it's always good to involve in something physical, but it's gonna end up helping somebody in the end, like Mr. David right there talking to us from South Africa. Now, Namibia will have a slowed economic growth